Architect versus draftsman. Do I need an architect to design my house? Searching for or building your dream homes can be tricky and complicated. The usual question that pops into your head is, do I need an architect to design my house? Let's take a look at all the options you have and their pros and cons before you say go. So, what are my options? In Australia, there are 3 main different options available with the designing of your house. These options are as follow. First options is building with a volume builders using the builder's design. Second one is hiring an architect to design your dream home. And lastly, hiring a draftsman. What are pros and cons to each of these options? Let's go into the details. Firstly, volume builders. Volume builders are medium to large-sized companies that most of us have heard of. They are companies like Metricon, Porter Davis, and Henley. The best way to find them is Google for the location of display villages, where builders have built houses next to each other displaying their best finished products for you to choose from and build on your own land. The benefits of volume builders are many. They include: firstly, the builders can purchase materials and tradies hour in bulk, reducing their cost. Secondly, the factory-type production methodology resolves team issues and design clashes in the houses that they previously built. This will reduce their wastage and downtime. In return, this further reduces the cost in building your home. These benefits can save you 20% of the construction cost and often finishing your home in 6 to 9 months instead of 12 months with a custom design. The builders will transfer those savings to you to compete for your business, hence, you often find excellent per square meter rate when purchasing a house from volume builders. However, the disadvantage of building your new home by a volume builder is the cost of customization. The volume builder's construction system makes customization and upgrading more expensive than what you usually expect from a custom builder. Imagine if you take a bus home every night and walk 20 meters from the bus station to your home. On a rainy day, you ask the bus driver to drop you off in front of your house. The bus driver provides you with a cost quote for that variation of their service. The additional cost may include extra insurance, stopping traffic at the back, public liability, and impacting the bus schedule, to name a few. That cost will be more than the $4 bus fare you pay for the full trip. An example when using a volume builder doesn't work is if you want to maximize your site utilization. You may need to move a bedroom and change the shape and size of a few other rooms. In those situations, you will need to look for an architect or draftsman for tailored architectural drawings for planning permission and building permission for a custom design house. So, do I need an architect to design my home? Or, can I employ a draftsman instead? To answer that, let's start by knowing the discrete phases in the building design process. In a bird's eye view, the key stages are as follows. The initial stage is to prepare a schematic design. Following that, your architect will work on more details and prepare design development drawings to obtain the town planning permit. And lastly, the architect will put together all construction details and prepare the contract document drawings and obtain the building permit. Now, what's the value provided by an architect? Let's quickly discuss how to become an architect. For an architect to use the title architect in Australia, he or she must train for 7 to 9 years, including: firstly, 5 years of full-time study in university. To register as an architect, you need a minimum of 2 years of full-time employment in an architect firm. The architect firm must have a well-designed graduate training program hand-picking all core competent tasks to build up a full, all-rounded experience. It takes a minimum 2 years in a company with a well-designed graduate training program. But in most cases, it will take 4 years to get all the experience to qualify for full architect registration. Now, how to become a draftsman? Draftsmen must train for around 3 to 4 years, which include: firstly, 2 years of full-time study in TAFE or university. And to register, a minimum of 1 year working with a supervisor demonstrating core competence in the relevant building legislation. So, do I need an architect to draw the plans? The additional training with architecture exposes architects to the history, aesthetic, design, playing and testing all sorts of different building elements and materials. That added learning and experience will add value to the aesthetic of your new house. In general, your architect can bring you aesthetic value at the schematic design and design development, while the draftsman and the architect can both complete the contract documentation drawings in a similar standard provided if they have the same insights to the house design. So, what's the best way to go about it? It depends on your situation. Work with Draftsman if you know what you want to build, and you only need contract documentation and building permit. This includes smaller things like knock down a wall. In most situations, you will need an architect to design your house and take you through the schematic design and design development stage. This includes having architect drawings for the planning permission. After obtaining the planning permit, you can then employ a draftsman to complete the contract documentation at a lower price if you can communicate the design ideas to the draftsman. Note, if you want to do that, tell the architect when you request quotes. Make sure that the architect's fee, terms and condition are aligning with your requirements before you start. So, when should I employ the architect for full service? If you are building a dream home with a comfortable budget, engage the architect for a full service. The full service will include preparing the contract document drawings and administering your building contract to make sure the building works are done as per design. A comfortable budget should be around 2 times per square meter rate comparing with the basic market building rate. In the year 2020, it cost around $2,000 per square meter to build a basic specification custom home in Melbourne. You should engage the architect for a full service if you plan to invest $4,000 per square meter for your dream home. Disclaimer: we assume no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions. The information is for general purpose only with no guarantees of completeness, accuracy, usefulness or timeliness. You must engage a suitable consultant for your specific situation.